Okay, so we're going to move on to our next facilitator, the Alchemist, which is Gregory Gregori. He's going to be just telling us a little bit more about how to get witchy. And what I mean is learning about plants and herbal remedies and medicines and how we can use them to empower our internal systems, and how we can connect to them spiritually as well, because well, there was just something that he said in a video before, which is, I don't know if any of you have felt it, but I've certainly felt it when I've been by a really awesome tree and I felt, I don't know, something about being by really big trees that just feels like there's some sort of grand energy in this. And this workshop is going to help us explore that. And so, yeah, I will pass it to the Alchemist.
Hello, everyone hear me now? Yep.
Yes.
Great, thanks. Thank you, Charisse. Thank you, and thank you, Bevan. That was awesome, really cool workshop. Really appreciate that. With all the energies right now and the all the change we're going through, all the transformation, all these, yeah, everything that's happening. I don't need to tell you, everyone's going through their own stuff together. At least that's happening. It's all different for every individual, but it's all happening at once. So it is an interesting time. It's spring as well, or coming into summer now. So recently it's been a really good time to get, like you were saying, with nature, to explore our connection with plants, with animals. You might hear my cat meowing. Like, it's not going to be my cat anymore because actually I'm moving. So a lot's been happening for me actually at this time. Even though we've all been in lockdown, I've been in lockdown too, working from home. But everything's in boxes. I'm going to move. So it's good to take a moment and pull together and sit down. So I really appreciate this this actually as well, because I was just like running around the place trying to get everything organized and come to be with all you lovely people, with everyone here. So I really appreciate everyone's contributions and energy. Yeah, let's have a talk about what we're doing. So usually I do something longer, or maybe like a group meditation or something, but I feel like we've done some really cool stuff already, and I'll recommend maybe instead of as a group, like spending some time today after this to do some meditation yourself. Maybe everyone does, that's fine, everyone's got, which is great. And meditating doesn't have to mean actually like sitting all the time, you know. It can be being outside in nature and enjoying, which is free and available to all of us. Even though we're locked up, at least we're allowed to go outside and connect. Like, especially in this country, we've got so much greenery. The weather's been brilliant until recently. And I was walking around yesterday and I found some of these. So these are poppy pods, right? So before they were, if you see a poppy out right now, you just about might catch them still. And you know what poppies look like. They've been used as a symbol for veterans, etc. But the bright red of a poppy, when this was covered in petals, when you see them outside, it's really shocking, because it's the same kind of red as blood, right? It's the exact same, it's a very similar hue, and it kind of catches your eye. You're like, oh, wait a minute, it's like that bright red that really stands out. And it's, before it was used as a symbol of, I don't want to talk about what it's a symbol of nowadays, but before it was in any way associated with war, or it was associated with the dream world and the imagination and the divine feminine, right? So my ancestors were partly Greek. Ancient Greek stuff is something that I've used a lot as a way of connecting to not just my ancestors, but breaking through the paradigm, the current one of where a lot of my personal view is a lot of organized religions sometimes, historically speaking, in Europe and beyond, have like hidden and suppressed, and we as different cultures all around the world have lost touch with a lot of our more animistic practices. The idea that everything is conscious, everything has a component of life to it, you know. Obvious, you know, in a sense, I might have more, you know, one could argue I might have more consciousness than this flower, but this flower has more consciousness than like a crystal or a rock or something. But they're just, maybe they're just different. Okay. So this is my personal understanding of a lot of, when I try to connect with these things, this is kind of partly the logic or the language that I would use to describe the rationale between these connections. Okay, because I work on the daytime, I work as a scientist, like very mind-based stuff, and traditionally in science things are the spiritual or soulful or even consciousness connection is ignored, not necessarily, you know, in its own framework, it's ignored. It's always talked about as an illusion or a you know, like more of a software kind of thing. That's obviously not true. There's life in everything. There's consciousness, I believe, in everything, you know, and ultimately one could argue that consciousness is at the root of everything. And that doesn't just mean the mind. That means consciousness as experience, as emotion, as your physical self, as your experience of time, as your experience of being human, right? So we're called human beings. It's funny that we're not just put human, we put beings at the end of that, because I guess it's a big part of how we define what it means to be us, right? Is we're all being here, like we're all here in whatever form that may be. I'm like drifting off now a little bit, but going outside and connecting with plants. Nowadays there's some really good apps, like one called PlantNet, which is free, and you can put it on your phone and take photos of plants, and you can find, it'll identify it for you. You can find the name. I can send a link at the bottom of the chat later. And so when you're out on your walk at any time and you feel a connection with something, some plant catches your eye, you think it's beautiful, or you think it looks interesting, always go and explore that. Always go give it a sniff, touch it, you know. Be careful about harvesting sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, but at the same time, you know, I prefer not to pick things unless I know what they are so that I can use them. But go and explore that and maybe find out what it's called and see if there's any uses for it. You'd be surprised how many things you can use to, like, make tea, or are perfumed wonderfully, and you can make sprays, or you can make incense. I like making incense. One good thing to do is lighting. You could always light a coal. You can buy these little charcoals from the Turkish shops and stuff, and burn them and collect whatever you find on the way. This is some bay leaf, you know, even stuff from the kitchen that smells wonderful. You can smell it, and you can then burn it as incense in gratitude or in thanks to anything you want. Even if you don't believe in any type of external spirit, you can do it in gratitude to your ancestors, or you can do it as a form of meditation. So through that aroma, you can then maybe choose to do some meditation after that, and knowing that you're connecting using those same energies that come from the plant into you. And you can ask questions, and you can work out maybe how does this plant make you feel. It doesn't have to be anything that's classed as a drug or anything. Even simple herbs like like bay leaf, like mint, rosemary, thyme, things you use in your kitchen, things you might have on your balcony or in your garden. You can use in so many ways. You know, even when you make a tea, you can give thanks to the plants. You can ask that they heal you in whatever way they seem fit, even if you don't know how they're meant to heal you. You can just trust in them, right? And know that they're gonna do what's right. Because unlike drugs, plants don't target a specific biochemical pathway in the body. So in your body nowadays, the way drugs are designed, they either stop or they stimulate some kind of chemical response in your body. That's how they're designed. Now there's chemicals in the plants that do similar things, but when things have grown in nature, they affect your body in a different way, which means they actually are more likely to do what needs to be done. You know, you don't need a prescription to drink a herbal tea, right? But some herbal teas can be quite powerful in causing healing or inducing different states of consciousness even, right? But feel free to experiment. Don't go nuts with it. Don't take anything for too long that you don't know anything about, you know. But you know, I'm around for any information, or if anyone's got any questions, you know, I've got a page on Facebook that I can send a link to, and feel free to ask questions if ever you guys find anything and you want to know more. You know, there's websites, there's books, and now's a great time when you've got a bit of time at home to you know, to explore nature that way and connect with the seasons. So, you know, along with the astrological changes happening, there's always there's the obvious astrological change, which is the change of the seasons, right? And we all go through that, and we all know that, and we feel that in not just in the plant life changing, but in the temperature, in the way we feel, our moods and attitudes and energies change as well throughout the year, right? So trying to get that into our cycles and understand that we're cyclical beings, right? That time is something that goes round and round. It doesn't just go, doesn't go that way. It goes round and round. The stars go round and round. The planet goes round and round. We go round and round. That's what happens. So the more we feel into that, and now that everything's slowed down and stopped, we can feel into that and know that that's how nature cycles. And that's what's happening to the human race right now. We are going through a new cycle, and a cycle of hopefully of growth, right? It's up to us to all steer where we're going now, because the world has never been more connected. We've never been more clued up. We've never had more information. We've never like been more open-minded, really, although there's, as much as the opposite polarity is so painfully obvious as well. We're now, you know, finding an opportunity to really stand up for things that can't be hidden anymore. And, you know, that's so obvious in so many ways right now. So, you know, as much as any woo-woo person wants to talk about collective shift and stuff, yeah, it's happening. There's a collective shift, and there's nothing we can do about it except go with it, right? Because it's happening right now it's happening, and it's science now, man. It's not even like talking, it's a fact. Everything's been turned upside down for us to have a look at ourselves, how we interact with ourselves and how we interact with other people, and find as much harmony as we can through that, and challenge ourselves to see how much harmony we can really find in our lives with other people. Because, you know, if that becomes our challenge, to cultivate that peace, to cultivate that understanding, and to cultivate that, but also cultivating our boundaries and our voice and our sovereignty, right, all together. We can do all of this together if we're not trying to have power over other people, right? Having power over other people is a system that has caused a lot of this. And in reality, it's about power with, right? And coming together to, if we empower ourselves and each other, then we can create. That's how all the best things happen. That's how all the most incredible things happen, and that's how people come together to make change. So anyway, yeah, so that's me. I mean, I don't know if that was just like I hope you guys enjoyed trying to pull together a lot of things there, but
Thank you.
let's just, yeah, thank you.
Amazing.
Thanks.
There was a lot. There was a lot.
That was a lot. That was
Yeah.
fast. So maybe sometimes like slow down as well and like take a breath myself because yeah, really feeling that Sagittarian energy. I'm a Sagittarius sun sign, so now we got all this fire is it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
There's a lot of energy to work with. I feel like I feel it too. I got my little fire going here.
Yeah, nice, beautiful.
Because yeah, there's a lot. Want to pull it in, but also use it constructively. And I am really, really intrigued and definitely looking forward to doing that, going outdoors and learning about some plants and learning how to connect with them and how they interact with my body personally, more than just like what's written about them, but actually tuning in mindfully to that experience. So
Exactly.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of inspiration to take away from that. And also burning them, that was really interesting. This like, you know, connecting with the plant literally, whether you're drinking it as a tea or whether you're smelling it, all of that is a really interesting way to just, yeah, become aware of how it's influencing your body and actually get to know the plant. Yeah, all of that was just, yeah, just a lot of good stuff. So thank you.